Daily. This is greetings, everybody, and welcome to Zimbabwe Daily. This is Behind the Microphone Show, where we are looking at the Liquefied Petroleum Gas Safety Series brought to you by the Liquefied Petroleum Gas Safety Association of Zimbabwe, LPGSAZ. I hope I find all of you well. I know that a lot of people are using gas and efforts have been made to educate users of gas so that they may use it safely. We've had a number of guests coming onto the show telling us about safety issues around the use of LP gas, which is a product that we're using in our homes for cooking, for heating, and even for refrigeration purposes. So I'll ask my guest to introduce herself as we go into the topic.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Joyce Chapungu. I'm the Communications Officer with the Environmental Management Agency in Zimbabwe.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, what we want to talk about is we've seen that EMA has stepped at its disaster management efforts, if I can put it that way. And you have this huge equipment that you have. You may want to tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, maybe to start with our mandate as the Environmental Management Agency.
Yes.
We are mandated by the Environmental Management Act, Chapter 2027, to ensure the sustainable utilization of natural resources, as well as prevention of pollution. So, in doing that, there are a number of strategies that we use, and I'm glad that we are taking huge strides towards attainment of that mandate.
Yeah.
So recently, actually early this year, we managed to procure a hazardous materials emergency response vehicle, like you rightly said. And this vehicle is meant to assist us in managing spillages of hazardous substances or spillages of chemicals, as they are known by many people.
Right.
So we are so happy with such a development because it will go a long way in aiding us to make sure that we achieve our mandate, especially in terms of pollution control and also creating a clean, safe and healthy environment, as is our vision.
Right. And why did you feel that it's important for you to acquire such heavy equipment?
All right. In Zimbabwe, we've got a number of environmental issues of concern. And the issue of accidental spillages of hazardous substances is one of them. So over the years, we've had a number of those spillages, especially of petrol, of diesel, sulfur, cyanide, ammonium nitrate, bitumen, and many other chemicals that have accidentally spilled, especially during transit of those chemicals from point A to point B. Mm-hmm. So as the agency, we have managed to attend to all the spillages, and we have contained them and made sure that minimum harm is caused, although some of the spillages have even caused fatalities, and some have even caused damage to property and also damage to the environment. But we are glad to say that we've managed to contain those with the little equipment that we had in the past. Yeah. So we saw that there was a need for us to enhance our capacity to be able to manage those spillages in terms of getting better equipment, state-of-the-art equipment, which is being used by other nations, especially in the developing world, so that we at least minimize the impact caused by those accidental spillages. Sometimes those spillages are inevitable. Most of them are accidental. Right. They are not intentional. So the issue is on putting more effort in terms of managing the risk associated as well as the impact that is associated with those spillages. So we saw it fit to procure this vehicle so that it enhances our capacity to manage the responses. Remember, like I mentioned as we started the program, that we are mandated to ensure that the environment is clean, it's safe, and it's healthy. Actually, the Constitution of Zimbabwe in Section 73 provides for environmental rights, and one of those rights is a clean environment that is not harmful to human health. The Environmental Management Act also in Section 4 also provides for the same rights. So as the agency, it is our responsibility to make sure that we provide an enabling environment for all citizens of Zimbabwe to realize that right. So this vehicle is actually an enabler for people to realize their constitutional right of a clean environment, especially in the event of a spillage.
Excellent. I would ask a lot of other questions, but this particular show is concerned with the liquefied petroleum gas sector and how, as an agency, they are assisting in making sure that we are consuming it in a safe way. As you have heard over the series that we've had, we have seen an astronomical rise in people using LP gas in their homes for heating, for cooking, and for other purposes. So, as we continue to advocate for safety use of such a highly inflammable substance, it is imperative that we also get to know what our agencies are doing as mandated by the constitution of our country. Now, I heard the last time when we came over to Emma that this vehicle is one of the 7 that are in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about. We are going to have a technical guide from Emma taking us through this vehicle shortly, but I just want to get an appreciation of the cost of such an equipment, and us being one of the few in Africa to have this particular equipment.
Like you've heard, and the audience are going to hear from the explanation from our technical team. The vehicle is massive. It has got lots of equipment inside. It has got PPE. It has safety equipment. It has a generator for electricity. It has actually everything that is needed for handling hazardous substances, spillages. It's self-containing. Right. It has everything. So obviously, you would want to guess the cost of such a state-of-the-art vehicle, that it doesn't come cheap.
Right.
Actually, we appreciate the government of Zimbabwe for its support in enabling us to buy such an equipment, because the cost is quite huge. In fact, we bought this for close to $1 million. Right. So this is not a small money, it's a lot of money. And we are so grateful, and we are happy to have such a vehicle. Like you said, it's one of the 7 in Africa, and it's state of the art. And we believe it's going to take us a long way in making sure that any spillage that occurs causes minimal impact to the environment and to human health.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Joyce.
Thank you, Yvonne, for having me.
Excellent. So we're just going to cross over to our technical guy to take us through this huge investment that you as a country has made. Remember, the government is funded by taxpayers. So know that there is an equipment that we have in Zimbabwe that will help us in case of those huge blasts that can take place due to, hazardous materials that we use in our country.
Farmers, landowners, and land users are encouraged to construct standard fire guards that are at least 9 meters wide, either side of a common boundary, in order to protect the environment, life, and property from field fires during the dry season. Farmers are also advised to reduce biomass through hay baling and thatch grass cobbing to prevent field fires. Also keep in stock firefighting equipment such as fire beaters and knapsack sprayers, which help in extinguishing fires in the event of fire outbreaks. Farmers are encouraged to form firefighting teams in your areas. Let us protect our heritage, our harvest, our properties and life from wildfires. This message is brought to you by the Environmental Management Agency, EMA. EMA, together protecting the environment.
Anything party, think Party Karate. And as Party Karate, we provide you with nothing but the best services that you can rely on. Leave all your party management and all your corporate events in our hands today. Our wide range of products include helium balloons, toys, candy gifts, jumping castles, candy floss, popcorn machines, stretch tents, and just to mention a few.
My name is Zvai Vilika. Most people call me Z. I would like to introduce you to our new beast, our new machine that we acquired as the Environmental Management Agency. I'm an officer in the Harare Metropolitan Province, trained as one of the team members that are there to use this machine. We use it in the aid of hazardous substances material recovery. Like it says, hazardous substance materials emergency response. This is our new machine. There are only 7 of these in the whole of Africa, and we're proud as Zimbabwe to say that we have one of them. And this is state-of-the-art equipment all around the world. This is what is used everywhere, even in the most advanced of places and in a vast of countries. This is there when there is a spillage. When there is a spillage of hazardous substances can be diesel, petrol, paraffin, Jet A1. It can also be industrial chemicals, nitric acid, cyanide, and all those hazardous materials that can be flammable or toxic. We come in as an emergency response service in the event that something has gone wrong. We have the ability to come in and evacuate any persons in there and the liquid or substance that has gotten into the environment. When there is a situation, we get a phone call on our toll-free numbers, or there's somewhere where there's a emergency situation. Our first response is that we have the smaller vehicles that we have, they go and do an assessment initially to see what has spilled, and then we have the 7-member minimum. It can get up to 14 that gets into our vehicle. This is our control room, where we have our emergency response attendants that will be seated and fastened in. This is where we start off. Our control room is where all the information is passed from our driver. There are speakers in here. The driver will be informing us of what's happening. We also have windows where we can see, and we start off from here. As you can see, we've got our dashboard that we will write what we check on our systems. We have our diesel, we've got our water, we've got our gasoline, which is petrol for our generators, and then we'll check that we have charged the vehicle. Now, this is the control room, and we will exit the vehicle in a manner that we are now assuming that we have a hazardous substance situation that is outside. What we are now saying that we have gotten to a place, and then it is a toxic substance that we haven't really seen what it is exactly. So we walk out of we'll have our full gear, our full PPE ready. All right, we come out of our vehicle. We move slowly because most of the time we'll have heavy equipment on, because so that we don't endanger anyone. Now, we've got into a scenario where we have realized that there is hazardous substances that is spilled. Our first point of call is to set a perimeter. Our perimeter is set by these apparatuses. This is a tripod stand that has danger warning signs. The danger warning signs are put around the area, and we start blocking off the roads. When we've blocked off the roads, we start dealing with our situation. Our first point of call, we have these railings that can move from either side will also go to the other side of the vehicle, but it can be pulled out from the other side. We take out our equipment. In the event that there is need for power, we've got our generator that powers the whole system. You see it's got lights, it's got a lot of electrical components that need it to have a backup ancillary power system. Now, when we are now looking at how we're going to address a situation, we get to the place, we've got our cabling. If there's need for us to use machinery that needs cables, we've got our cabling that has all these components together, and we pull out our cabling. Our cabling goes onto our machinery, and we power up our sources. We first realized that no, what is there is a diesel spillage, or it is a truck that has it's most popularly that known by most is the vehicle tankers that transport diesel, petrol. We get to a place and we find that it is ruptured in the sides and it is spilling. Our first point of call is to contain the spillage so that it stops coming out. Where we find that we've got a leak, these are our wedges that we can drive through. As you can see, they're plastic, so they're non-flammable. Everything that you see in this is made from special alloy that is non-electricity conducting, and it is non-flammable. It will not cause a spark. So everything that we have here is foolproof that we will not cause any further danger in that event. So we drive our wedges through the point where the rupture is, and these are our apparatuses. We also have quite a number of tools that we can use as well as we are operating. We have these as our tools. We've got, as I said, every alloy in here is special. Because it is non-conductive and does not cause a spark at all. So our 10-pound hammer, we also have our picks and forks. All of these are non-conductive. I think you can see with the color that it is a special material. It is a special alloy. So for our diesel spills, we also have our vacuum suckers that are here that we use to clean up situations. As you can see, it also has special alloy. We use these in the event that there's a spill or somewhere where we need to evacuate the liquid from a certain small area. We can use these, and these are our containment bins that we also use for materials. And then this bin can hold up to 2,000 liters of diesel. We will spread it on the ground and then we'll mount it, and that becomes our containment unit. It is non-porous, so this is where we evacuate liquid that is on the floor in a container that needs to be evacuated. These are the materials that we use. And for this one, this is our pneumatics. This is our pumps, our pressure pumps. As you can see, our heater as well. Our heater, we'll use it as a our thermostat heater. We use it in events that we need to get to a place where we might need some thermal conduction so that we are able to drive our wedges. Some thermal conductions that we can also use to loosen a liquid or a substance that has hardened. We use all these equipments. All these pipes and everything are ancillary to our machinery. This is our trolleys, and we use this one to come up to our machinery. These trolleys are also where we store our ancillary bags, like the one that I showed. These are all secondary containments in the event that there is a spillage. The different colors are for the different hazardous substances. In Zimbabwe, we have the red class, we've got the yellow class, we've got the amber class, we've got the red class. So we use all these bags in accordance to what type of material we are dealing with. We also then have our pneumatic systems again that are here, our air compression and our lines as well in the event that we need to pump anything. This is also a suction pump that we use in the event that we need to pull quite a large amount of liquid from wherever it is. So this is a really it's a marvel of in Africa. We are glad to say that we are one of the only countries that have these, and it will go a long way in abating danger. We also have these as a measure that we support other emergency response services like police, other emergency response services like fire brigade that also have similar equipment. We come in for the hazardous substances. This is not a machine that we use to take out fires. This is for hazardous substances. So I'll take you through everything else as I come down here. In the event that the spillage that we are has also some noxious or toxic gases that will need self-containment. We also have what we call scuba gear. Scuba gear, like you hear for those that go into water or marine activities, it's the same. Scuba is self-contained breathing apparatus. This is part of our personal protective equipment that is used by our practitioners or emergency response team. This is our self-contained breathing apparatuses. These are our oxygen canisters. We get our team coming in and they put on these. These are tailored to each individual who uses them. I'm not going to take them off because of hygiene reasons. We don't share these. So for this one that comes off, this is our oxygen. So we connect this to our headgear. When we connect this to our headgear, we have a timer for our oxygen. We have 30 minutes off each cylinder for our oxygen, and it is fully contained where you need nothing else when you are in the suit. So when we are in those ones, we are now in our red zone, or the area that we are now cleaning. We move quickly in that area, but we also have communications with people that are within our yellow zone. That is an area around the place where we have the spillage happening. We'll also move round to this section. We'll come back. Like I said, our ancillary equipment that we use for our power is also closely related to our safety, to the people who are on it. We communicate through our command center. Our command center is where we are around the red unit. Again, I will show you our various signs that we set our perimeter. We'll also put barricade tape and many other tripod stands to go with these. So our hazard warning signs are there on top of they're different for each spill that happens. So this is how we set our perimeter. As you can see from the one that I put on the tripod, we have those for our radioactive materials, for toxic substances, for poisonous substances, and also have these when there's electric conduction as well. And then we have these for our flammables. So we put them right round so that people who come into the area are also aware, and for others who are coming in as emergency response services. We're pleased as the Environmental Management Agency to present this and to present the agency as having stepped forward in terms of our technological advancement, in terms of our ability to now abate dangers in terms of hazardous substances. We can move this to any part of the country, and we have a fully elite trained team that is always on hand to try and assist even the other emergency response services. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and see you again next week as we take a look at the LPG sector. How can we be safe as Zimbabweans in using this product? Remember, the future is gas. So as we move into that space, we want to make sure that you know how to use it safely and you know how to contain a situation that may arise out of the use of these products. Thank you so much, Zimbabwe. Join us again next week.